Hi, passionate Rangers FC fans, welcome to Rangers. Update, your dedicated source for all things Rangers. Before we dive in, we want to express our gratitude for your unwavering support. If you bleed blue, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and let's strengthen our community. Now let's get into the latest updates. A hearty welcome to our new followers. Your backing means the world to us. Wop, let's get to the news. It's the kind of story that gets whispered around Ibrox passed between fans over a pint in the pub or murmured in the cold air outside the stadium gates. Samuel George Allen Edmonson, a name that once echoed through the stands with pride and expectation, is being tipped for a shock return to Rangers Football Club. Ah, you heard that right. After 3 years plying his trade south of the border with Middlesbrough, the English centre-half is being linked with a sensational homecoming to the blue half of Glasgow. For the supporters who remember his short but impactful spell, this feels like unfinished business. When he first arrived, there was promise in every stride steal, in every tackle, and a passion that mirrored the club's identity. Now, with rumors circling and sources suggesting initial talks may have already taken place, the prospect of his return is gaining traction. And fast. Of course, in football, nothing's set in stone until the ink's dried on the contract, but the whispers are growing louder by the day. Could this be the story of redemption of a player returning not just to prove himself again, but to lift silverware in the shirt he once wore with pride? It's important to look at how Edmonson's journey unfolded since leaving Rangers. After departing the Glasgow Giants, he ventured into the EFL Championship, a battleground known for its unforgiving nature and relentless fixture list. At Middlesbrough, he didn't just fade into the crowd, he matured. His game sharpened, his decision-making improved, and he began to look like a true leader on the pitch. Under various managers, he adapted, learned, and held his own in one of England's most competitive leagues. For a player once seen as a young prospect with potential, this evolution has been critical. Now, 3 years on, he's no longer just a lad with a dream. He's a seasoned professional ready for a bigger stage. Rangers, with their ambitions in both domestic and European competitions, might be the perfect stage for his second act. The timing seems almost poetic. The team needs depth in defense, the fans are craving passion, and Edmonson, well, he might just be craving that familiar roar of Ibrox once more. It's not confirmed yet, but all signs suggest something could be brewing behind the scenes. What makes this rumor particularly juicy is the emotional weight it carries. Edmonson wasn't just any player during his time at Rangers. He was seen as a future stalwart. Fans admired his grit, his composure, and that never-say-die attitude that fits so well with the club's ethos. But circumstances, as they so often do in football, pulled him away. Injury, squad competition, and managerial changes meant he never truly fulfilled his potential in his first spell. Yet here we are 3 years later, and the possibility of his return feels like a storyline ripped straight from a football fairy tale. There's an energy to it. The idea that perhaps he's got unfinished business in Glasgow, that maybe the stars are aligning for a comeback that could reignite his career and bolster Rangers' backline in a crucial season. The question is, are the club's decision makers thinking the same? Are the wheels already in motion? The idea isn't far-fetched, especially when you consider how often Rangers have welcomed former players back into the fold. This could be the next chapter in that long-running tradition. Insiders close to both clubs have hinted that preliminary conversations may already be underway, though no official statements have been made. Middlesbrough, for their part, aren't reportedly desperate to offload Edmonson, but with changes expected in their squad structure, a transfer could be mutually beneficial. Financially, it would make sense for Rangers. Edmonson wouldn't command an astronomical fee, and his wage demands would likely fall within acceptable parameters. But beyond the spreadsheets and negotiations, it's the footballing logic that stands out. Rangers need depth in central defense, especially with injuries and fatigue always looming during a long campaign. Edmonson, now 27, is entering the prime years of his career. His blend of experience and familiarity with Scottish football could offer a valuable boost to the squad. It's a low-risk, high-reward move, and those are exactly the kinds of signings that often make the biggest difference in title races. It's just rumor for now, but sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. And right now, the smoke's beginning to rise over Ibrox. Supporters have already begun buzzing on social media, sharing clips from Edmondson's time in blue, reminiscing about key performances and crunching tackles. It's a sign of how quickly fan momentum can build and how much impact a player can leave even in a short span. Edmondson may not have had hundreds of appearances, but the connection he formed with the fan base seems to have endured. It's that emotional currency that makes this rumor particularly intriguing. For a club like Rangers with its proud heritage and passionate support, signing a player is about more than stats. It's about character. And if Edmondson's social media activity is anything to go by, a few likes here, a follow there, he might already be preparing mentally for a potential return. The signs are subtle, but in the age of digital breadcrumbs, fans are watching every move. Whether he's dropping hints or just keeping tabs on his old club, the speculation continues to grow. The anticipation is real, and the idea of Edmondson back in a Rangers shirt is quickly turning into a mouth-watering prospect for many. There's also the matter of team dynamics. Under the current managerial regime, Rangers have been building a squad that blends experience with youth grit with flair. A returning Edmondson would bring not just tactical flexibility, but also a sense of continuity. He knows the club, the culture, and what it means to wear the badge. That's not something you can teach in training. It's earned. And right now, with the club looking to reassert dominance in Scotland and make deeper runs in European competition, players who already understand the pressure and passion of Ibrox could be vital. Edmondson isn't just any centre-back. He's someone who left a mark, and he's someone who could step back into that dressing room and command instant respect. Of course, there's always a risk in bringing back former players. Expectations can be sky high and circumstances have changed. But the potential upside here is huge. It wouldn't just be a signing, it'd be a statement. A signal that Rangers are thinking smart building with intent and not afraid to rekindle past sparks in search of future glory. Behind closed doors. Recruitment meetings are likely weighing the pros and cons. There are other defenders out there, of course, some younger, some with different profiles. But few come with the blend of familiarity and fresh experience that Edmondson offers. He's not the same player who left 3 years ago. He's better, sharper, tougher. And Rangers are not the same club either. The ambitions have grown. The expectations risen. It's a different challenge now, and that might be exactly what appeals to Edmondson. A chance to come back stronger, more mature, and contribute meaningfully to a club that once believed in him. There's talk of other clubs being interested too. Whispers of interest from lower-end Premier League sides and top-half championship outfits. But if his heart still beats blue, then the choice might already be made. For now, it remains a rumor. But one that's gathering pace with each passing day. Rangers fans are watching, hoping, speculating. Could this really happen? Could Edmondson be on the verge of writing the next chapter in his Ibrox story? Now let's dig a little deeper into why this potential move has got tongues wagging across Scotland and even further afield. There's something poetic about a player returning to a club where he once held so much promise. But in Edmondson's case, it's not just about nostalgia. It's about timing, opportunity, and a sense of destiny that seems to be pulling him back north. He's coming off a solid spell with Middlesbrough, where he proved he could compete in a league that's as physically demanding and mentally challenging as they come. The championship is no joke. It's a weekly grind, and Edmondson came out of it stronger, more disciplined, and with a sharper football brain. Now, if he's eyeing a move, it's not to sit on the bench, it's to be a central figure. And if Rangers are interested, you better believe they're not just bringing him back for sentiment, they see a role for him. Whether it's covering for injuries, rotating through Europe heavy weeks, or even becoming a starter, he wouldn't be coming back just for the badge. He'd be coming back for battles, for titles, for that electric Ibrox roar. And isn't that exactly what the club needs? Right now, from a tactical perspective, Edmondson fits the mold of what Rangers are reportedly looking for. A physically imposing centre-back, strong in the air, comfortable with the ball at his feet, and experienced enough to keep a cool head in high-pressure moments. That's a valuable asset, especially with the kind of football Rangers are aiming to play. The modern game demands defenders who can do more than just hoof it clear. They need to read the game play out from the back and step into midfield when necessary. Edmondson's time in England has helped him evolve into just that kind of defender. And at 27, he's not a project anymore. He's a finished product stepping into his prime. That's why this rumor feels like it's got real legs. If the club sees what the fans are seeing, a matured former player with a fire still burning, it makes too much sense to ignore. There's also a chance that other suitors could complicate matters, but the emotional pull of Rangers might just outweigh a higher wage or a flashier offer elsewhere, especially if he feels there's unfinished business at Ibrox. The supporters' reaction so far has been nothing short of enthusiastic. There's a nostalgia there, sure, but it's more than that. It's a belief that Edmonson still has more to give to the club, and that this second stint could be the one where everything finally clicks. Let's not forget his time at Rangers was cut short by a mix of factors. Competition for places, some injuries and managerial decisions that didn't always go in his favor. But the glimpses he showed were enough to leave a lasting impression. That tackle against Celtic, that header in a European night, those are the moments fans don't forget. And now with the club aiming to build a squad that can fight on multiple fronts, having a player who already knows what it means to wear that crest and who's hungry to prove a point could be a game changer. It's just speculation for now, but the energy around this rumor is real. People are talking, scouts are watching, and somewhere in Manchester or Middlesbrough, Edmonson might just be packing his bags. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans inside the club. There's said to be a split in opinion. Some favor going younger, looking for fresher legs and bigger resale value. Others believe experience and character are more important right now, especially in defense. And that's where Edmonson becomes such an interesting prospect. He straddles both sides of the argument, still young enough to have years ahead of him, but old enough to know the ropes and carry responsibility. He won't need time to adapt to the Scottish Premiership. He knows what it's about. And unlike a fresh signing from abroad, he won't be surprised by the pace or physicality. He's been through it before, and he's thrived in tougher settings since. That could be exactly what tips the scales in his favor. And look, Rangers have seen success in the past with bringing players back. Sometimes the second spell is where legends are made. Maybe Edmonson isn't a marquee name just yet, but with the right conditions, he could become one. That's what makes this rumor feel like more than just summer chatter. It's got depth layers and the scent of something bigger behind it. And then there's the question of what this move would mean for Edmonson himself. A return to Rangers isn't just another transfer. It's a declaration. A statement that he's ready to take on the weight of expectation again, to step back into the limelight and prove he belongs at the top of Scottish football. It's not an easy decision. There'll be pressure, scrutiny, and no shortage of critics. But that's part of what makes Ibrox such a special place. It demands everything, and it rewards those who give it. If Edmonson is truly considering the return, it speaks volumes about his mindset. It says he wants to be remembered not just as a player who passed through, but as one who made a difference. It says he wants to write his name in the club's story, not just on the team sheet. And honestly, the fans are ready for that kind of ambition. The kind that says, I'm back and I'm here to win. It's not confirmed, not even close. But if this rumor has any truth to it, we could be on the cusp of something special. Whispers around the training ground have suggested that current players have even been asked for their opinions. That's not unusual. Dressing room chemistry matters, and bringing in someone who's already known and respected by some of the core squad could ease the transition. Apparently, those who played with Edmonson during his first spell have only good things to say. Professional, driven, a good lad in the locker room. All the things you want in a returning player. That kind of endorsement carries weight in recruitment meetings. It helps paint a fuller picture. Because on paper, plenty of players look good. But in reality, it's the character that separates the short-term fixes from the long-term pillars. If the backroom staff are seeing both talent and temperament, then it's hard not to see why this rumor is gaining momentum. And let's not ignore the timing either. Rangers have had injuries at the back, and bolstering that area has to be a priority before the window shuts. Edmonson could be the ready-made solution hiding in plain sight. All it takes now is one phone call to turn rumor into reality. Journalists close to the club are already sniffing around trying to confirm if this story has legs. And while no one's gone on record yet, the fact that multiple outlets have mentioned Edmondson's name in connection with Rangers this summer is telling. This isn't coming out of nowhere. It feels calculated, strategic, the kind of leak that warms fans up to the idea before the official channels get involved. That's how modern football works. The rumor mill is just as important as the press release, and right now the mill is spinning fast. Could we see a surprise unveiling at Ibrox in the coming weeks? A scarf above the head, a grin on his face, and the unmistakable backdrop of blue and white behind him. Stranger things have happened. And honestly, in a window full of wild spending and unpredictable moves, this one feels grounded, smart, emotional. All the ingredients for a transfer that could genuinely work. No ego, no headlines. Just a player coming home to finish what he started. And that in this day and age might be exactly what Rangers need. So here we are, still just a rumor, but one that refuses to die down. Fans are excited. The club is reportedly interested. The player may be open. And all of it wrapped up in a story that feels part football, part fate. Whether it happens or not, it's clear that Samuel George Allen Edmonson still holds a place in the hearts of many at Ibrox. His return could be a spark, not just for him, but for the entire squad. It could reignite that old spirit, strengthen a defense in need, and give the fans another hero to rally behind. These kinds of moves don't always happen, but when they do, they remind us why we love this game. The narratives, the emotions, the chance for redemption and glory. It's all there. So keep your eyes on the headlines, listen to the whispers, and watch that transfer ticker closely. Because if the stars align, and if the club makes its move, then the prodigal defender might just find his way back to Glasgow. And when he does, you can bet Ibrox will be ready to welcome him home. Loud, proud, and full of belief. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned